I was asked recently, well, if I'm not ready to be a professional photographer, what do I call myself? And I think what you call yourself is a photographer. Before you become a professional photographer, you first become a photographer. Let's look at all kinds of other venues and other genres and other ways of creating art. First, you're a violin player. Then you get a job with a symphony. First, you're a guitar player. Then you get a job with a band. First, you learn about farming and work with your dad or what have you, and then you become a farmer. Buying a camera, buying a couple of lenses, even really good lenses, doesn't make you a photographer. It makes you an owner of a camera. Being a photographer means that you understand the tools, understand the methods, have a sense of the history of photography, of what came before and what's coming after and what are we doing now. Being a photographer is, I think, one of the coolest things ever. The art of photography combines color, design, composition, style with one magic ingredient, and that's time. No matter what we do with our lighting and our composition and working with our talent and everything, it just really comes down to that click. We can't take a month to make a painting, or a year, or even a day to make a painting or a drawing. We can't work with dancers all day long like choreographers to come up with that beautiful dance. We have a split second in time to push that shutter, to create what we see in our heads and as what we have perfected as being able to catch that moment with our lighting and our composition and our chosen lens and our chosen format of camera, our angle, our point of view, everything. That's what it means to be a photographer. Being a photographer means you're so thrilled about making images that you do it all day long. And if you're not doing it all day long, or at least thinking about it all day long, you're not there yet. If you struggle with your gear as you're setting up to do a shoot, you're not there yet. If you don't know what you're going to do, and you think the best way to find out is to go on a forum on Flickr or Facebook and say, hey, I have to do this shoot of my son's girlfriend this weekend and I don't know what to do. You're not ready yet. You're not a photographer yet. To be a professional photographer means that you've put in all the work, hard work, effort, challenges. You've failed 1 billion times. You've succeeded 1,000,000 times to get where you are. Then you become a professional. And if you do it right, if you really become a photographer first by getting your cameras and your gear and all that crap that we put so much faith in, you get all that stuff collected, and then you start to make images. Images at first are going to suck. They just suck. There's nothing you can do about it except be kind of happy that at least they're sucking on digital and not sucking on film like that used to happen with us old-timers. We took a whole lot of pictures that sucked, but it cost us a whole lot of money, and it sucked our money right out of our wallet. These days with digital, you can learn faster, much faster, by seeing it on the back of the camera. So you have to ask yourself, can I take a photograph that I see in my head? Can I take a photograph that my friend wants me to take? Can my brothers and sisters say, hey, we want to do this, and have me say, hey, I know exactly how to do this. I know 1,000,000 ways we can make this shot. And you're excited about it. Do you remember the first time you took a picture? I do. I actually do remember. As a matter of fact, I can look at a photograph that I've taken and tell you what aperture and shutter speed I used to make the photograph. It's just ingrained in my head. And I can go back 40 years and tell you what I was thinking when I made that photograph. Now, I can't tell you the model's name. I can't tell you 100 other things. I can't tell you what I had for breakfast this morning, but I can look at my images and I can tell you what I shot them at, what the settings were, what we were talking about, what the model and I were talking about at the time, how we got to that, and I can actually see that shoot because I absolutely love making photographs. It's one of the most important things I've ever done, is make photographs, is to capture moments in time for other people, for myself, for posterity, hopefully. And so we take that real seriously. When you first take that photograph that works, that first photograph that doesn't suck, it's kind of a really interesting feeling. You look at it and you think, wow, that's just different than what I've been doing. Not really sure why, not really sure how everything came together, but it all came together on that one, and it doesn't suck. And then you take 10 more that do, and then one pops in that doesn't. What you want to do is you want to get down to a situation where you're taking 8 or 9 that don't suck to one that does. And every photographer takes a bunch of sucky pictures. The difference is we don't show those sucky pictures. We only show the ones we really like. There are no rules in this business. There are no hard and fast, you got to do this, you got to do this, no 10,000 hours or any of that malarkey. Just the reality that being a photographer first will guide you into being a professional photographer. There's no doubt about it. If you're a wonderful photographer and you're enthused and you're excited and you're making photographs all the time, people will start to want to work with you. And you won't have to mark a date on the calendar when you became a professional. You'll just turn around one day and say, oh my God, I'm so busy, I'm a professional photographer right now. Because you were a photographer first. Then you became a pro. So think about it and enjoy your photography and get out there and bust your ass to make some great shots.